Hello, Mr. Joseph Trades here. Actually, my name is Joseph, but I go by Mr. Joseph Trades. So I have a friend, Dr. Neiman. You may have heard of him. When I used to work with him at my other job, he called me Mr. Joseph. And so, as an homage to him, I named my channel Mr. Joseph Trades. But that's neither here nor there. Let's talk about the topic for today. First of all, you may be wondering why I'm not jogging. Well, yesterday I did heavy squats at the gym and my legs are fairly thrashed. So I'm just walking today. I don't need to run with my legs feeling like they do. But I enjoy running, so maybe after I stuff myself tomorrow, I'll take a little jog, do a little turkey trot. So speaking of tomorrow and stuffing yourself, you know, it's Thanksgiving, and one of the topics I want to talk about that will help in life and in trading is gratitude. And you know, it's taken me many decades to get to this point of realizing certain things. My hope is that somebody, even if just one person who's a few decades younger than me, sees this video and takes something to heart that I say and applies it to their life, that they can avoid a lot of unnecessary self-inflicted strife and negativity. So gratitude is the topic of the day. So, it's very easy in our lives to focus on negative things. When things aren't going right, when we don't have what we think we need, when things aren't going as we planned, when people aren't treating us as we think they should, basically when our expectations for whatever it is are not being met. Well, that can really get you into a spiral of negative thinking. And something that helps counteract that and will help in your trading as well as your life is constantly reminding yourself of things to be grateful for. So I'll give you a few examples. This won't be a very long video, but you know, I don't want to bore you. I know everybody's got to get their turkeys, you know, basted and start the ovens up. And you know, if you haven't bought your groceries yet, you got to try to find a restaurant that's open tomorrow. Good luck with that, because Instacart's going to be out of turkeys. So I don't know what you're going to do if you haven't planned yet, but Taco Bell's probably open. But I digress. So gratitude. Here's an example. The other day I was taking a shower, and something I take for granted, warm water. I visited India a few years ago. A friend of mine, his son got married, and we got invited to this elaborate wedding. It was beautiful. They're members of the Sikh community, and so we got to stay in the Punjab province for about a week and just encounter a truly awesome celebration of a wedding. The place we were staying was a very nice house, but it had one key thing that was missing. It only had cold water. So back to my point, when I was taking my warm shower the other day, you know, you take it for granted here, but for about a week when I was in India, every time I wanted to take a shower, it was frigid. You know, people talk about taking cold showers these days as anti-inflammatory treatments and, you know, how it's good for you and everything. Well, this was not planned. We were ahead of the curve on that one. Let me tell you, I don't really enjoy the cold shower methods. I know they probably have benefits, but I'm very grateful for my warm water and my hot showers. So that's just one small thing. Let's see. We live in we live in a country that gives us so many opportunities every day. You know, there are a lot of things that we wish were different, but when you step back and look at the opportunities we have to basically make our own way in this country compared to a lot of other places, most other places. I know there are a few that are, you know, technically more free, and that's fine, but all in all, we live in a pretty special place. So be grateful that you're here in this country, the US of A, which for now gives us plenty of opportunities to chart our own course in life. So that's something to be grateful for. If you're healthy and you can move and you can think and you can remember things and you have your capabilities about you, be grateful for your health. It's the biggest thing you have. If you don't have your health, nothing else really matters. I'm talking physical or mental health. It's all important. People don't talk enough about mental health, but that's just as important as physical health, because if you have bad mental health, it can affect your physical health. So be thankful, be grateful for your health. Your friends, your family, people who care about you and love you, your children, everybody that you have an impact on, and even those you don't know you have an impact on. Be grateful for those people, because when it comes down to it, when times get tough, they're going to be the ones that support you and encourage you and care for you no matter what, unconditionally, if they're really good friends. And of course, that's what your family should do. So I know not everybody has that dynamic, and you know, that's unfortunate, but for those who have strong friends and family, you know what I'm talking about. Be grateful for the ability to worship freely however you want to in this country. You know, a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of countries in this world, you'll be put in a gulag or worse if you express any sort of faith in any higher power. So be grateful for that. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying these are things to consider. Now let's talk about trading. You know, we don't control a lot of things in trading. All we really control is how we interact in that environment. We control the position size we use. We control where our stop loss is. So that means we control our risk. And we control whether to participate, meaning whether to buy or sell. Those are really all we control. Also, we control how we react after a loss or a win. So be grateful for when you have a win, when you land on the right side of probability. That's something to be grateful about. It's not something to be overconfident and cocky about. Be grateful for a loss. And if you learn something from the loss, that's how you can really be grateful for it. Because when you lose and you're making a mistake, the market is trying to teach you something that you can learn from. I'm not talking about just the losses that happen because of probability. I'm talking about when you make a mistake and you lose and you figure out what you did, and hopefully over time you don't repeat that mistake. You should be grateful for those losses, because they're what got you to the place you are now. And if you're just starting out in trading, if you're intrigued by all the Lambos and, you know, all the people who floss on YouTube and everywhere else, this is a very difficult journey, but it can be done if you take it seriously and you learn. And so, you know, it's a matter of being grateful for losses, learning from them, and being grateful that you have the capacity mentally to play this game and to one day get to where you want to be. So those are a few things about life and trading that you can think about as far as gratitude in this season of Thanksgiving. I'm very grateful I didn't just slip in that quagmire of mud. I wasn't really paying attention. That's something for me to be grateful for. That would have been quite embarrassing, but regardless, I'm grateful for those of you that have made it to the end of this video. If you like this, please like, subscribe, and comment. Until next time, great trading, everyone.